The friendly confines of Kaplan Arena have been kind to the green and gold as they're a perfect 6-0 at home this season. North Carolina A&T makes the trip north, having already matched their win total for each of the last 2 seasons, but A&T is still in search of its first conference win. The Tribe and the Aggies square off next in a Coastal Athletic Association clash right here on MASN. A pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, alongside former Tribe guard Brandon Britt. I'm Andrew Phillips, and Brandon, both of these teams riding a little bit of an extended losing streak, still early in conference play, but a key for one of them to get back on track tonight.
Still early, like you said, but both teams kind of on a losing streak, trying to get a win tonight, so we should see some competitive basketball.
Let's take a look at some players to watch. We'll start with the guest this evening, North Carolina A&T, and Lewis Walker, a transfer playing his first full season of college basketball, has found himself a home in Aggieland.
Lewis Walker's making an impact early, coming in transfer, averaging about 17.4 points a game. He's a guy that can kind of fill it up, and is a guy that also can get to the free throw line a lot, shooting about 87% from the line.
William & Mary's player to watch will be Tunda Valberg-Visasi, also a transfer, and he's quickly become one of the Tribe's top scoring threats.
Visasi's been playing well. I think over his last 3 games, he's been averaging about 13 points a game, so he's a guy that can add that spark for William & Mary.
It should be a fun game tonight. We have to step aside for a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have keys to the game. Starting lineups and opening tip next from Van Wagner. This is the Tribe Sports Network. Basketball game between the guests, the North Carolina A&T Aggies and the homestanding Tribe of William & Mary. Andrew Phillips alongside Brandon Britt as we quickly jump in to some CAA standings. About a third away done through conference play. As you take a look, William & Mary in 7th, North Carolina A&T at the bottom looking for their first conference win. Jam-packed with UNC Wilmington, Hofstra, and Charleston all unbeaten, setting the class here in the league. We'll take a look now at our keys to the game. All good outcomes start with a great foundation. This evening's key concrete game plan is sponsored by Beck's Concrete and Contracting. Brandon, take it away.
And just like every team that's coming into Kaplan Arena, handle the full court pressure by William & Mary. You know they're going to press 94 feet the whole game. A&T's got to limit the turnovers. And for William & Mary, A&T is one of the best teams in the league at getting to the free throw line. Their best player shoots about 88% from the line. So they got to limit that if they want to try to get a win tonight and, of course, win the rebounding battle.
Beck's Concrete and Contracting can be reached at 757-920-3560 or online at beckscontracting.com to customize your game plan for your home or business. As we take a look at the starting lineup for North Carolina A&T, no changes really for them. Trent Middleton Jr., a guard from Philadelphia, a Delaware transfer, also in double figures at 11 points per game for the Aggies. For William & Mary, also no changes to their starting 5, Brandon, but this team, a tough road trip, happy to be back home for 2 straight, a little brief homestand here with the bye in between on Saturday. Kyle Pulliam has been a great addition in his 2 years with William & Mary.
He has. Kyle Pulliam has been playing well for the Tribe this year. Had a little injury early, but he was able to bounce back and has been playing great. And like you said, Tribe's been on the road for the past couple of games, and so I know they're glad to be back in Kaplan.
Hey fans, don't forget Food Lion Feeds is the proud sponsor of the Score to Give More. For each free throw the Tribe makes in today's game, Food Lion Feeds will donate 100 meals to our local college food pantry or food bank. This season the Tribe has already hit 291 free throws, and that is a current total of 29,100 meals donated to help our neighbors in need. Almost set to go, William & Mary and North Carolina A&T playing here today at Kaplan Arena. Both players head to center court, and we can give you our referee crew for tonight's game. Tony Chris, Trey Styons, and Joe Schweitzer, the referee. Joe Schweitzer will step to center court, throw this thing up, and we'll get set for some CAA hoops tonight as William & Mary is going to win the tip and take off with it. Pulliam on the layup won't go, but it's going to count on the goaltend.
Right on cue, too, with Pulliam making a basket early in the game. Talked about him at the top of the broadcast.
Set play right off the inbound, leads to the quick 2 and allows William & Mary to pick up that full court pressure. North Carolina A&T struggling with turnovers at time this season, last in the league in terms of turnover margin at minus 2.3 a game. So something we'll keep an eye on as they settle in to the half court for the first time this evening.
And back to that full court press you were making, Andrew, like William & Mary, they do a good job of trapping out of that press sometimes, and sometimes they don't. They just play straight up full court man.
3 ball on the way for Lewis Walker, who we highlighted in the open, and he cashes out.
He's a guy who can fill it up, averaging 17 on a year, so can't give him that open look as he knocks that down.
Valberg Fasasi thought about the answer, will pass off. And then held underneath, so our first foul of the game.
And it'll be interesting to see, I was kind of talking to Coach Earl before the game, how the refs decide they want to call this game, how physical, because William & Mary is a team, they like to play fast, but a lot of back cuts, and they caught him on the hold on that one.
The GW transfer, Zam Oku Wayuje Yume, the foul for North Carolina A&T, just out of bounds for the Tribe.
Looking to go inside here. Look like they got a mismatch.
And they do, exporting it perfectly. Kate Haskins, the turnaround jumper to put the Tribe back in front.
Good recognition. Recognize that Cade had a smaller guy on him. Feed him in the post, he gets an easy bucket.
This time, not as much full court intensity from the Tribe. Walker cut off there. We'll find Middleton.
Walker's looking to be aggressive early, probing as he.
Trent Middleton on the miss there. William & Mary leaves it to one chance there for the Aggies. Pulliam in transition for the Tribe. Leaves it off for Lowe, and the scoop layup is good.
Great pass by Pulliam, finding Lowe in transition a little bit, able to get the tough bucket. It's usually Chase doing that. Chase is a guy I feel like on the William & Mary team who seems like they always making those types of passes that Pulliam just made.
Senior, been at William & Mary his whole time as Chase Lowe.
Which is rare these days.
100% on that point, as a foul will be whistled against William & Mary. Take a look at Monty Ross, the head coach, to Tribe and CAA fans, the longtime head coach at the University of Delaware.
It's funny that you bring that up because I didn't know that he was at A&T.
To Tribe and CAA fans, the longtime head coach at the University of Delaware.
It's funny that you bring that up because I didn't know that he was at A&T, and obviously still haunts me to this day. 2014 CAA championship.
Yeah.
He coached that day. I don't want to bring that up.
I was going to leave that alone. I knew I was doing the game with you. I was there as well.
Yeah, tough loss.
But that's why I said familiar to Tribe fans. Didn't want to dig too deep. As both free throws are good to end the quick, or sorry, 1 or 2 from the line to end the quick William & Mary run. Tribe by a point. Kate Haskins
they're going to call that illegal.
was open for a 3, but he was set up with a nice screen from Chase Lowe that was maybe a little bit too nice. Yeah. First foul on Chase, and it'll take it back the other way.
As you can see here, just kind of leaned a little bit. Definitely a legal screen. The ref's going to call that every time.
Never really stopped.
Yeah.
More of a offensive line block than a screen on a basketball court. Back the other way for North Carolina A&T, looking to regain the lead.
Here's Walker again. I mean, there's another shot. I mean, he's aggressive early.
Yeah, quick 5 for him to put the Aggies back on front. North Carolina A&T hasn't won yet in conference, but they've had some close games. Missed a shot to win it against Elon in their last contest, and of course, every CAA game is tightly contested. Both teams want to win, which goes without saying, but you have to show up each night in this league.
Absolutely. And I think teams are getting a dose of, as they miss that back cut, league play is different. You know what I mean? Not to say that teams don't play tough teams in non-conference, but I feel like once you get in league play, it's a different type of intensity, for sure.
And the games just mean a little bit more, especially in an unbalanced league in terms of the scheduling. Not every team plays each other twice. Some games, obviously, you have some tiebreakers that could be on the line. William & Mary does go back to North Carolina A&T. So 2 chances at the same opponent. When it's one timeout, those games mean a little bit more, especially in a tightly contested league. You just looked at the league standings, very jam-packed. There's 4 new faces on the floor for William & Mary. Another corner 3, that time from Ogletree, is off. And J.R. Jones will spring the break for William & Mary.
A&T does a good job of getting back in transition. There's another back cut.
They've obviously seen that in the scouting report. J.R. Jones going to get to shoot some free throws here. Second foul on A&T.
And that's why I've been impressed with Coach Earl. I feel like, as you see here on the back cut, with Coach Earl, it's obviously William & Mary wants to play fast, but at the same time, they can come in the half court and they can kind of chop you up in the half court offense too. They do a lot of back cuts, and I think that's why it's an emphasis on, Coach Earl kind of getting on the rest as of late and say, hey, these guys are holding.
J.R. Jones hits the first free throw for William & Mary. First year with the Tribes, already scored over 1,500 career points in his collegiate career. And sinks the pair. Probably one of the quickest guys on the Tribe roster.
Absolutely. It's a guy that can really push the tempo. Great defensively, too. I feel like he uses his quickness and speed on the defensive end.
He's on the assignment right there. He'll be on Lewis Walker as they head back down the floor. Again, Walker, those 17.4 points per game. Already 2 makes here in the early stages of this one. They find him again on the right side of the floor. They'll swing it across court. And the ball will be lost on the other end, but a nice recovery by Zamoku Yume on the bucket.
And they actually did a good job on that possession. It's just they was able to get it easy, too. Big time block right there.
Yeah, good recovery from Dumia there to send it back the other way for the Aggies with this 1-point cushion. But they'll turn it over as Walker was looking inside for Dumia, and no one was home. That'll take us to our first break in the action. This is our A1 Icebreaker break. We'll be right back with more Tribe men's basketball from Van Wagner. This is the Tribe Sports Network.
We are the spirit of a nation, not in name, but in action. The lives we lead and the values we carry forward, that spirit lives on in us. We don't preserve history to look back. We preserve it to move forward, because Williamsburg doesn't stand still. It stands tall. This is Williamsburg, where America's journey begins. Start planning yours today.
There's a new home for care in Richmond. A hospital for kids unlike any other. Because in your child's life, you'll never know when you'll need help. You'll never know who you'll need. You'll never know what is possible. But you'll always know where it will happen. The new Children's Tower, unlike any other.
It's now time to take a look at the series history between North Carolina A&T and William & Mary, presented by Visit Williamsburg. This evening is the 5th meeting between these two programs. The young series tied at 2-2. William & Mary won the last meeting, 81-78 against the Aggies. On their last visit to Williamsburg, it was Keller Boothby who hit a buzzer beater right here at Kaplan Arena and then mobbed by his teammates.
Never a bad time to hit a buzzer beater, that's for sure.
It happened so fast that we actually missed our A1 American Icebreaker bucket to get the scoring started. Kyle Pulliam off the tip-off play put that in. So thank you to A1 American, and be sure to reach out to them for all of your HVAC and plumbing needs. William & Mary down by a point, but with the basketball following the North Carolina A&T turnover in our first media timeout of the game. We'll see the Aggies press a pressing team here for the first time tonight.
I see that, and it doesn't looks like it's a little token. It didn't look like they were trying to get a steal out of that, but a little strategy early.
Woo! Had a nice cut again on that back door, but Ryan Jackson Jr. has it bounce out on him, but it'll lead to a second chance three from J.R. Jones.
Big time shot by J.R.
Right into the press here for William & Mary. Quick 5 for J.R. Jones tonight right off the bench.
And really, I mean, William & Mary does it by committee, right? Like the 5 starters that they have, they bring another 5 off the bench that probably could start 2 as well. So
Albert Fasasi back in off the bench, gets the steal. Jones open again.
Mr. Jones!
Back-to-back threes for J.R. Jones.
I feel like ever since you talked him up and said how quick and fast he was, maybe he got the memo because he's playing well right now if he knocks down the second three.
8 points here in the first 5 minutes of the game. And that gives William & Mary its largest lead, and they're going to get a chance to get out in transition. Albert Fasasi was pushed, and he called a 30-second timeout before he lost the possession on the jump ball. We'll hold it here on the 30-second timeout. But the last 2 or 3 possessions with these J.R. Jones threes are exactly what William & Mary wants today.
Mr. Jones, he hits the threes, back-to-back threes for him. Like you said, coming off the bench, providing a spark with 8 points. Here's the second one. Great find by Pulliam, and Jones able to knock it down. And I know Coach Earl on that last possession, that's the effort you want to see, right? 50-50 balls, as we call them, and first one on the floor to get that. That's the type of effort that's going to win these types of games.
Tribe saves the possession. They will use their 30-second timeout. That one would have been forfeited if they did not call it here in the first half. Timeout's a little bit more prevalent, obviously crucial in every game, but with the challenge rule now, have to have them to go to the monitor. As Joel Emmanuel works the baseline, and J.R. Jones on a personal 8-0 run to spring this lead for the Tribe.
Mr. Jones said he's going for 30 tonight. He's got, 10 early points? Is that right?
10 off the bench real quick. You're exactly right. Perfect from the field as well. Nice. Into the run there is Trent Middleton Jr. Got through the lane and laid it in for 2. Tribe wastes no time getting it back. Pulliam leaves it off for Emmanuel, and it's back the other way for North Carolina A&T.
And that's a possession, even though they got lucky. A&T's got to know that William & Mary's trying to push the ball. They got to get back in transition.
Passes like that aren't going to fly either, as the Tribe had a couple of guys that could have gotten a hand on. It was Pulliam that knocked it out of bounds. Reese Miller, Chase Lowe back in for William & Mary.
Here's a great pass by Emmanuel. Easy finish by Mr. Jones.
See what North Carolina A&T has out of the inbound play. Burton on the miss. A quick rebound for Pulliam, and back the other way for the Tribe. Chase Lowe.
Great pass.
Leaves off for a Reese Miller three that rattles in.
And that's why Coach Ross is taking him out of the game, because that's another instance in where A&T is not getting back.
Tribe has exploited some soft defense early. They've hit their last 4 from the field and lead it by 8. Brooklyn Vick at point guard, one of the freshmen on this North Carolina A&T team. A.J. Ume.
Little Princeton action here. Princeton wrinkle with a little rod action.
Vick mulls it over and then finds Lewis Walker on the left side. Step back from him at the shot clock. Warren is good.
That's a tough bucket. You usually, most people are shooting threes or going to the basket, dunking. That was a 15-footer falling away.
Low back on the other end, took it coast to coast, but couldn't connect on the short bucket. And Brooklyn Vick will hustle it down the floor. A.J. Debrick on the post. Walker again. He's perfect from the floor as well.
He's feeling it. He's hitting him with the 1-2 pull-up. Cannot let him get comfortable. He's a guy, we said it at the top, he's averaging 17 a game, so Tribe's got to try to keep him in line.
Teamed of Albert Fasasi looks to work the right side. Gets the CAA logo. And we'll leave it off for Kyle Pulliam. Albert Fasasi on the drive. Thought about the hammer. Will fall back with the floater instead.
I saw it in his eyes. He recognized he had a mismatch, and he put the ball on the floor with a tough finish. He's a guy, like we said, he's been playing well. He's athletic, can finish around the rim, but he also can put it on the floor, as we just saw.
Transfer from LaSalle, Tribe's leading scorer. And a handful of players in double figures for this William & Mary team on the season. A.J. Ume on the step-back 3 is no good. And Valberg Fasasi has the rebound. J.R. Jones, heat check 3 on the way for him. Left it short. Kyle Pulliam skied for that rebound.
Get him on an offensive foul.
Over the back
foul.
And that will take us to our under 12 media timeout. 3 balls falling here for both teams here at Kaplan Arena. We'll be back with more Tri-Men's basketball next from Van Wagner. This is the Tribe Sports Network. William & Mary students, college life just got more thrilling. With the Busch Gardens Williamsburg College Pass, students can enjoy unlimited visits and unbeatable perks like free parking and in-park discounts. All at a price made just for students on a budget. Go to buschgardens.com for more information. Great crowd on hand here at Kaplan Arena. Midweek game between the Tribe and the Aggies as they start another CAA weekend. Just one game for the Tribe here on this homestand. And first of 3 here at Kaplan Arena, trying to get back on track in the league. Tribe jumped out to 2-0, but that tough road trip puts them at 2-3. And some big games next weekend here at Kaplan Arena that they're just promoting in-house. UNC Wilmington and Hofstra, both undefeated in the league, will be at the Cap.
Those will be big-time games
next weekend.
Big-time games coming up. But first they got to try to handle business against A&T.
This is one of those games, I'm sure, as a player, Brandon, that you want a little bit more because you don't want to go through a full week of practice coming off of a loss.
Absolutely. And you never want to say a must-win, really, but after you lose 3 in a row, you're on the road. This is a game that I know Coach Earl and the Tribe is like, hey, we got to get it. A&T, too, we talked about it at the top. They've come in and lost some tough games.
Tough shot from Walker, his first miss of the night. May have been blocked, but it was a desperation heave. Haskins for a 3 in transition. Cans it, and the Tribe raining down 3s here. Their 5th make from deep.
I know that's a good sign for the Tribe and Coach Earl. See a couple 3 balls fall in. They're tough to beat when they're making shots, but a lot of teams will say that, obviously.
Very nice pass into the corner for Ogletree, who would drive, hesitate, and lay it in. Tribe quickly back, though. Joel Emmanuel goes to work. Scoop layup from him off the mark, but it's going to bounce right to Cade Haskins, who can't get it to go either.
Missed the bunny there with Cade. Probably thought he was too open.
Brooklyn Vick tries to start the break here for the Aggies. Nice move by him on the baseline.
And Vick is a guy that came out. You could tell he's the ref stopped the time here. Contact.
They're going 4-on-5 here. One of the players for North Carolina A&T, that's Uja Burton for the Aggies, lost his contact. Wasn't able to get it going, but it looks like he's going to stay in and be okay.
And J.R. Jones checking back in the game for Reese Miller.
Vick will get the inbound. 14 on the timer after the quick injury break.
Ball screen action for Vick, which I would too. You could tell that his job when he comes in the game is to push the pace. He's been probing a whole lot since checking in the game.
Late in the shot clock there from the Aggies. That possession kind of ruined by the injury that they had to take, and the Aggies didn't realize how short of a timer they had. And a turnover there for North Carolina A&T, their 4th miscue of the game.
There's that backdoor cut, but the A&T sniffed it out on that possession.
Will Felton there to punch it away and start the break here for North Carolina A&T. Tried to use a nice run midway through this first half to take a 9-point lead. Aggies hanging around, though, as a 3 in the corner is off the mark from Burton. An offensive rebound, and foul will come as Will Felton, the 6'9", 260-pound redshirt got the rebound and will get to go to the line.
And as well as the Tribe played this year, I mean, obviously, you know, they had the losing streak, the 3-game losing streak, but offensive rebounding has kind of been their biggest Achilles heel in a lot of these early games. So I know that's a possession that Coach Earl has been emphasizing with the team, and you know how he got that offensive rebound on that possession.
Felton at the free throw line for the Aggies, a 53% free throw shooter, but he hits the first. 70% free throw team, and we talked about in the opening, they are 5th in the country in terms of getting to the line, but they are not taking advantage of it as they are just 70% of their shots from the free throw line good, which is 11 in the CAA out of the 13-team league.
Oh, yeah, got a man who's got a smaller guard. He's got to go and be aggressive.
Killian Brockhoff for a try.
You can take that, too. 3's better than 2.
First points for him today.
And I don't know if teams are not reading the scouting report. I know Killian's a guy that bangs in the post, but he's more than capable of stepping out and knocking that 3-ball down.
Gets his hand on that pass as well. It'll be another out-of-bounds play here for North Carolina A&T. And it's kind of a staple of this Coach Earl offense, 1 through 5. On the defensive side of the floor, you have to be ready for someone to step out and be able to shoot a three.
Absolutely. And kind of talking with Coach Earl before the game, he was saying that he felt like some of the guys were a little too hesitant with the trigger. He's a coach that he doesn't care if you shoot the ball.
He wants offense, and he wants it quick. As throwing on the end line there, we'll turn it over back to William and Mary and get Ryan Jackson Jr. back into the game.
That'd be my dream. Coach tell me I have no ultimate green light. I mean, hey, that's anybody's dream right there. Try to get him to sleep on it. There you go. There's that hold, Andrew, I was talking about.
Just the third team foul against North Carolina A&T, but all of them have been on these holds. William Mary trying to exploit this defense. Has done a good job of the backdoor cuts here early. That foul on Lewis Walker, just his first.
And it's a staple of, I mean, we ran that offense too when Coach Shaver was here. It's the Princeton offense, but Coach Earl does a little different with his wrinkles in it, but they still have those back cuts, and that's where those holds are coming from.
Brockhoff looking for back-to-back threes. This one runs out. And foul will come against North Carolina A&T.
Great effort. Great effort. That was all Mr. Jones there.
He's been a nice addition here off the bench tonight. Obviously a player that scored 1,500 points in his career. Most of that before his time here at William & Mary, just averaging 5.1 points per game. But he came in and hit a couple of shots and started to feel a little bit here tonight. Reese Miller thought about it with 10 on the timer. Brockhoff. Try to get to the rack. Nice move, can't get it to go. And the rebound off to North Carolina A&T, and a nice play by Brooklyn Vick to keep that alive. Swinging around the horn and work back to Burton. A.J. Ume trying to drive, somehow works it into the corner for Lewis Walker, and he'll knock the jumper down.
Just how they drew it up.
Make that Bryson Ogletree on the jumper, but still a nice possession there for North Carolina A&T, who continues to hang around. Halfway through this first half, Killian Brockhoff goes back to work.
Looking to make a move against the bigger, and he bailed him out. I felt like he was playing good defense. He was fading away, but bailed him out with the foul.
First foul on Will Felton will send William & Mary back to the free throw line. Tribe leads the conference in free throw percentage at 74%.
Which is always a big thing, I feel like, especially when you get in league games. And like you said, you know, a lot of these games are coming down to the end. So if you're a team that can kind of make free throws, pays dividends for you.
Of course, all the positive free throw talk leads to the announcer
drink.
Yeah, we both did. You know,
that's usually how
it's still early. We like to get the facts out of the way early to save it for the second half. And the free throws might mean a little bit more. Brockhoff tries to at least split the pair, and he will. Pure on the second one, and Finn Lally will check in for the first time tonight. Finn's had some good games here at home.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he provides a spark off the bench, too, just like a lot of their guys. But like you said, he provides a spark. He's able to be crafty around the rim. Guy that can knock down the three.
Yeah, he was instrumental in that win against Towson to start league play. 3 of 5 from range to help the Tribe build that big lead that kind of trimmed away, but ended up being a nice win. Tigers, the preseason favorite, have to dig themselves out of an early hole in the league. And just an example of how tough it is to win in the CAA. Valberg-Fasasi on the rebound as Finn Lally gets right to work. He'll fine-tune to Valberg-Fasasi for 3. And another triple goes for the Tribe.
That's just great basketball. He gives it up to him, thought he had an advantage, and then passes it back and is able to knock it down to 3. Great basketball.
Largest lead of the night now for William and Mary. Middleton loses the handle, but Burton able to save the offensive possession for the Aggies. Vick calls out the play.
William Mary stepped up the defensive intensity on this end a little bit. A&T can't find the crease.
And Middleton somehow saved it from going out of bounds, but the Aggies are going to just have 2 here as it deflects out of bounds off of Ryan Jackson Jr. It'll take us to the under 8 media timeout. We'll be back with more Tribe men's basketball next from Van Wagner. This is the Tribe Sports Network. Chris Sears celebrating his birthday on Sunday, but no Tribe hoops this weekend, so a nice weekend off for Chris, and he's excited for his Indiana Hoosiers playing in the national championship on Monday night. Hey, are you looking for a championship level getaway? William & Mary fans and alumni get 15% off at Kings Mill Resort, Williamsburg's premier golf and resort destination. Visit kingsmill.com and book now with the rate access code WMFF. Again, WMFF to make your next stay win at Kings Mill Resort. 2 seconds here for North Carolina A&T to try to get an offensive possession. They'll lob it to the hoop, and Ryan Jackson Jr. knocks it away.
That was probably the best thing they could do with only 2 seconds on the shot clock, but William & Mary was ready for it.
Ryan Jackson Jr., 2 deflections on that. He knocked it out of bounds to send us to the break and then got the lead back. As 3 there for Reese Miller is off the mark. Look at Kyle Frazier out there for the first time tonight, the senior from Matthews, North Carolina.
A guy that also, too, he's not shy shooting the 3. If he gets an open look, he's a guy that can knock him in.
Vic tries a 3 off the front of the iron. That's no good. And see that athleticism from Ryan Jackson. Another rebound for him. He's showing his hops off in this first half.
And yeah, you got to get there. You got to score that. Smaller guy on him. Easy bucket.
Exactly what to do. Ryan Jackson Jr. with the bucket.
I think he hit him with a little too small celebration.
Yeah, you got to try to hide that from the ref. A little bit of a veteran move there.
You see that so much in today's game. I feel like the refs, they probably hate that.
I'm waiting for a dead ball to a little bit of a lecture. And they say play on. 5 again on the shot clock for North Carolina A&T. It's another heave for Trent Middleton, but he's got the range on that. And he'll knock it home.
He was a couple steps behind the three-point line on that one.
Much needed 3 for North Carolina A&T as the Tribe had extended to its largest lead. Reese Miller fading away won't go. Ryan Jackson Jr. unable to tip it in. And the Aggies will push.
Got away with one there.
Fans wanted to carry. They'll keep the possession. Inside and the layup good for Burton, the junior from Minneapolis.
And you said it, Drew. I mean, A&T sticking around. William & Mary makes a couple shots. But A&T's kind of sticking around.
Finn Lally looking inside for Ryan Jackson Jr. Circus shot off the rim. Uses the angles and will go to the line for one more.
Great pass, great back cut. I mean, we've been talking about it. I mean, it's a great pass, and then it was a great cut, and he was able to finish with the circus shot. Great finish.
Kind of threw it up there and hoped something good would happen. Used the English, and be a highlight reel and one opportunity here for Ryan Jackson Jr.
I think he surprised himself.
He'll complete the traditional three-point play and then step aside for Chase Lowe. But real quick on him, he's obviously, you saw the flashes of his athleticism at spurts last year for Coach Earl's team, but this year he's really taken that next step and is a fun player to watch.
Absolutely. I mean, he's already had a couple plays and highlight dunks this year, but he's a guy that's active, athletic, and he's really kind of coming into his own this year.
Carolina A&T, Lewis Walker's been quiet here of late, so we'll call his own number. It'll rim out on him. And the rebound for Killian Brockhoff.
Contested 15-footer. Tribe will take that possession.
Another backdoor cut. The pass a little too threaded. And
2 back-to-back, they tried it.
And it'll go out of bounds against William & Mary. So a Tribe turnover here, just their 5th miscue of the first half.
And I don't think that's by, I mean, obviously William & Mary's a team. We talked about it. They're going to have the back cuts, but last couple possessions, A&T's really been pressing defensively. So I can imagine Coach Earl's been telling them to look for that back cut as they, kind of pushing up a little bit on the defensive end. Got away with a travel. Man.
Walker. 3 ball for Burton. Off the back heel. And the Tribe wastes no time. It's one pass, and they're already at midcourt as Chase Lowe will go coast to coast. Not able to finish. It's going to be out of bounds on the end line there for Dumia.
I bet Chase is happy about that play. That's one he probably wish he could have had back. Easy, missed the easy finish, but able to get the ball back on the turnover. I think Chase is a guy. I mean, he does so much, I feel like, and, you know, you don't necessarily see him in the box score, but he's probably, to me, you know, one of William & Mary's most important players for sure.
J.R. Jones will get it right back. Thought about the three a moment ago. And it's Haskins.
They're trying to go inside here, trying to feed him. They get him, but it's too late. Shot clock violation.
Lowe trying to get it off before the horn. They'll say it's a shot clock violation. Missed anyway. And that'll take us to the first media timeout, the final media timeout here of the first half. Tribe in control. They lead it by 10. We'll be back with more Tribe basketball next from Van Wagner. This is the Tribe Sports Network. And J.R. Jones off the bench with those 10 points. And the guy who we told you about in the open, Lewis Walker, with 9 to lead North Carolina A&T. Vic and Valberg Crasasi each with 3 rebounds. Ogletree an assist for North Carolina A&T. Joel Emanuel 3 for William & Mary. But in terms of highlight players for North Carolina A&T, Lewis Walker is as good as advertised.
No, he is. I mean, he started out being aggressive early in the game, made a couple of tough shots, and it's funny looking at this game leader thing because I feel like for William & Mary, it could be a different guy every night as their top scorer. As compared to A&T, you know, Lewis Walker coming in is their best player.
Full court pressure here for William & Mary with this 10-point lead. 12 their largest of the game. North Carolina A&T had some early leads, but just by a point. As the Aggies try to chip away here in this final 3:30 of the first half. 3 for Middleton is off the mark, but a putback is good for Amadou Dumia.
Offensive rebound, that was just way too easy.
Haskins may have gotten away with a push-off. His jumper no good, though. And another rebound for Dumia. Now a whistle and a foul as J.R. Jones was in the backcourt trying to force a steal.
And not a bad play. I mean, William & Mary team fouls 5, so they got 2 more before they're in the bonus. Mr. Jones been playing well, trying to sneak and get another steal.
Out of possession here for William & Mary, but instead it's out of bounds to North Carolina A&T. Tribe will shoot free throws on the next non-offensive foul as North Carolina A&T has 6. And as mentioned by Brandon a moment ago, it's still a foul to give for William & Mary.
Good move, man.
Great move for Lewis Walker. And he'll get to go to the line for 2 shots. And it gives us a chance to talk a little bit more about him, Brandon. He's been at double figures in every game except the last one against Elon, so looking to get back there. And he's exceptional at getting to the free throw line. And he makes teams pay.
He does. And what I like about him, he looks for the contact. I mean, he's a physical guy. I mean, he's not that, he's probably about 6'6", but he's looking for the contact. And on that last play, I mean, he just put his head down and tried to get to the rim, but impressive player.
Best free throw shooter in the conference, 65th best in the country at 87%. He's made 94 of them now.
So he's a guy that's going to make you pay. Not only can he get to the line, but when he gets to the line, he's cashing them in.
Said he was a transfer from UMass. Did not play for the Minutemen. Was on the roster. So again, making his return home from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. 60th ranked power forward in the country coming out of high school. And back home in North Carolina, he has started to shine for Monty Ross and these North Carolina A&T Aggies. Brockhoff beat his defender, and we'll get to go to the line on the other end.
That's a great take by Brockhoff. I mean, he's a guy that can move his feet and move on the perimeter a little bit, and so he got the slower guy on him and was able to drive to the basket and draw the foul. Good play.
Lead is trimmed down to 6 as Brockhoff goes the line to try to add to it. And Tribe's been a little uncharacteristically cold from the line. Brockhoff now 1 of 3.
Yeah, you don't want some of those. I mean, it's still early, but like we talked about, some of these games can kind of go down to the wire, and then you're looking back and say, hey, I wish I could have cashed in on a couple of those free throws as he misses both.
Now 1 of 4 from the line. Shoots it at over 76%, almost 77% on the season. So now A&T can make it a one-possession game with a three. Nice help defense there by Reese Miller to get a block on the shot. J.R. Jones back the other way, swings it out for a three ball for Miller. And after the block, he'll cash in for a tray.
Man, that was such a big play for a lot of reasons. But one, how did he find him? I mean, he was driving to the basket, looked like he was trying to shoot it, and found Reese at the last minute. Great pass.
From our angle, we had a great view of it. That ball kind of looked like it came from nowhere.
Thought it was coming to us for a second.
Yeah, he was in the trees there, and it came out in a great find. Nice find here, too. But again, Chase Lowe on the recovery defense nearly steals it away twice. Vic saves it and has a shot blocked by Brockhoff. Tribe with the numbers. Off to Jones. Reverse layup from him is no good. And the rebound off to Doumbia. He'll try to slow it down and let North Carolina A&T settle it down, but only for a second as Walker will be offensive. Oh,
a
block.
We're going to see that.
That was close.
That was close. I felt like he got there maybe a little late, but first glance it looked like it was a charge, but
got to change the rule on this too. Brockhoff definitely had the spot.
Yeah. What do you think, Andrew? I mean, he was moving a little, but
yeah, I mean, I think it was, I don't know. We wear a little bit of the tribe-tinted glasses. It was close,
it was close.
Which is the way it's supposed to be officiated now. If there's any doubt, it should be a block over the charge. It kind of just seemed like a play that, you know, if Brockhoff just stays through the contact, it's not even a whistle.
It's not even, no, I agree. And I feel like distinguishing block calls and charge calls, sometimes those are such bang-bang calls that it's kind of hard to tell.
Tribe still with this 7-point lead that had gone down to 6 with a chance to cut it to a one-possession game, but they've responded as William & Mary's Reese Miller has got the last 5 for William & Mary. Vic goes coast to coast and will get the whistle. And will, I guess, get the shoot too. It ended up maybe being a pass. 7th foul, so he's going to the free throw line either way, and they'll give him 2 shots instead of the 1-and-1.
And I just laughed going back to that last William & Mary bucket. Reese Miller hits the 3. It's amazing how guys, when they see the ball go in the hole, it's just like they get ultimate confidence, and next time around he pulls up and makes a tough bucket. So 5 quick points for Reese.
Not a surprise for this Tribe team, but 2 guys off the bench tonight leading the way in terms of the scoring. Reese Miller now up to 8. And then J.R. Jones had that run at the middle stages of the first half where he went for 8 10.
He's played well. I mean, so far I feel like he's made one of the biggest impacts in this game. Mr. Jones.
Vic on the miss. On the first one, we'll split the pair and cut the lead back to 8 for North Carolina. The Tribe lead back to 8.
Ooh, that's a foul.
Oh, they're going to get another offensive foul.
That's the second one, too. I don't know about that one. I mean, that was close. I'd like to see that one again. And it's crazy because that's the second time they've called the same play on Chase. Let's see if he got a piece of it.
Coach Earl trying to get an explanation. That one was a little cleaner than the first one for sure.
Know about that one.
In terms of the screen, now A&T trying to, again, continue to chip away. They've hung tough. Tribes try to run away and hide, but the Aggies have not allowed them to do that as Middleton slices through the lane and lays it in for 2.
And that's got to be the message, right? Obviously, as we get ready to finish this first half, it's like A&T hasn't necessarily played their best, but they're hanging around.
Albert Fasasi off the mark on that 3. If that had gone down, that's kind of been the story of the game. A&T will push it close. William & Mary will hit a big shot, but now the Aggies finally finding some rhythm. Trent Middleton with the tray to cut it to a 3-point Tribe lead.
The momentum is clearly on A&T's side as they almost get a steal on that possession, but the momentum's shifting a little bit as we get ready to.
Chase Lowe on the block trying to stop the Aggies run, gets his own miss and is fouled. And we'll get to shoot 2. Trying to secure this first half lead for William & Mary that all of a sudden it was 33-21. The Aggies on an extended run here. A 6-0 run over the last 61 seconds.
This was clearly a foul here. Maybe would have got away with a little walk, but 2 key free throws. I mean, stop the bleeding a little bit and swing the momentum back to the Tribe side. Announcers drinks again.
Chase, 76% free throw shooter for William & Mary. He's now 4 of 8 from the line in this first half.
But to your point, Drew, they were just up. Now it's a 3-point lead, and they got a chance to cut it even more.
Yeah, they could make it a 1-point game, and Chase has to hit this free throw, but if a miss here, it could be a tie score at the break. He'll hit the second, so William & Mary, as long as they don't commit a foul, should have the lead, hit it into the locker room, but the Aggies, again, can make it a 1-point game after trailing by as many as 12.
Just got to try to get a good look here. And obviously, they're going to the guy.
Lewis Walker, again, another jumper for him. Tribe still has some time. Nice steal by Brooklyn Vick. The shot didn't go. Wouldn't have counted either way. But the Aggies closed the first half on an 8-1 run to cut it to a 2-point first half lead for William & Mary. 42-40 our score at the break. Be sure to stick around next for the VCU Health halftime show as Tribe men's basketball on the Tribe Sports Network from Van Wagner. We'll be right back. Sparkman Insurance is always bringing you the Sparkman play of the game, and you can protect your car, home, and future with Sparkman, your trusted teammate for all of your insurance and financial needs. A big play back in that first half to push William & Mary's lead to just 42-40 now, but it started on the defensive end with a block for Miller, and then he's rewarded with the 3 on the other end.
Great find. We talked about it. I don't know how he was able to see him, but great pass, and Reese able to knock it down.
We'll take a look at some first half stats. North Carolina A&T actually shooting a little bit better from the field, but a big thing for William & Mary that they're going to need to figure out here in the second half is the free throws.
Absolutely. I mean, and typically they are better free throw shooting team, but they're going to want to clean that up. And then, A&T went on that run, and so that's usually how it is. It's a game of runs. They were able to knock down some shots. So we're in tune for a great second half.
Well, first half stats there for you. We'll take a look now at some highlights. And you kind of mentioned it, Brandon, a little bit of a tale of 2 first halves there. William & Mary midway through jumped out to a 33-21 lead to take a 12-point lead, their largest. But to close it out, North Carolina A&T stormed back, and the Aggies got it going from Lewis Walker. 15 points in the first half for him.
Yeah, William & Mary kind of controlled for the most of that first half, but then all of a sudden A&T started hitting a couple shots and the momentum shifted. So now we got a 2-point game, but Lewis Walker's just a guy, man, that they're going to try to contain. In the second half he's going to be even more aggressive. So they're going to try to slow him down.
For William & Mary, it's been J.R. Jones and Reese Miller, 2 guys off the bench. Jones with 10-8 for Reese Miller. We saw the big shot from Reese, but J.R. Jones, as you see these 2 points here, went on that 8-0 run that kind of separated the game in the early stages.
Yeah, he provided a great spark off the bench, and we talked about it, right? William & Mary's a team, they do it by committee, and so it'll be interesting to see if these same guys step up or you get contributions from other guys.
2-point lead for William & Mary at the break. 42-40. The VCU Health halftime show will conclude after these commercial messages from Van Wagner. This is the Tribe Sports Network. A couple of halftime scores and already underway in the second half. CFC and Towson. Big game in the league. That was a marquee matchup, obviously, coming in, but now Towson trying to dig themselves out of a hole against College of Charleston tonight. Northeastern up by a deuce at home against Elon, 41-39. And then Drexel all over Monmouth, 2 teams that the Tribe saw last weekend that they both lost to. So Drexel riding that momentum from the win over William & Mary to a big lead at halftime over Monmouth. Stony Brook and Hofstra. Stony Brook with the 6-point lead in the second half for the Battle of Long Island up there. That's a big rivalry and kind of a surprising score.
Yeah.
But just goes to show you never know. Each night in the league, you got to bring your best. And that Towson CFC game at the top of the hour, just about to get underway, will be an exciting one in the league. As even though Towson at the little bit of the bottom of the standings will still be a slugfest, and can't count Towson out.
Nah, no, you can't. And I don't know if you've seen Hofstra play, but I think that they'll have a guy who have something to say about the player of the year.
Yeah.
And Cade, he can play. Lefty can really score it. So that's kind of surprising that Stony Brook's up a little bit against Hofstra early.
Yeah, Hofstra's had some nice ACC wins. They beat Pitt. And it should be a fun league race. It always is. And it's another exciting year in the CAA. Good one we've had here as well as we get ready to start the second half. William & Mary up by 2, 42-40. Again, the Tribe, if you're just tuning in, had a 12-point lead midway through this first half. And then the Aggies closed strong, so William & Mary still has a lot of work to do to try to close this out. Again, for William & Mary, no game on Saturday. A big week next week. And obviously you don't want to look ahead, but that's kind of our job to do so.
That's right.
North Carolina, Wilmington in town for a 7 o'clock tip-off a week from today. And then on Saturday, Hofstra. So 2 huge games for William & Mary that will be here for you right on MASN the next 2 games for the Tribe. And we should mention, and I'm sure he's relaxing anyway, I'm here instead of on the radio tonight because we've given Jay Colley the week off. He took the bye week a little early. But we love working with Jay. We love giving him a hard time. So he is probably watching it with sun hat on somewhere on the beach. We hope Jay's having a good time and excited to get him back on the call next Thursday night. I hope him and Cindy are having a fun time down in Florida.
Absolutely.
42-40, William & Mary and North Carolina A&T getting things rolling here in the second half. 2 blocks there, but Dumia continuing to fight through. And Kate Haskins gets the rebound.
And they were ready for that lob. They got the first block on that. They tried to go to set play on the lob, and they would have.
Let's see if they count that basket. That was close to an and one on another goaltend. Chase Lowe will get to go to the free throw line. A good start for William & Mary in the second half. Brandon, a stop on the defensive side of the floor, and then quickly to the hoop and a chance at free throws.
Attention to detail for sure. A&T, Coach Ross came out with a set, clearly trying to get a lob. William & Mary there on the stop, and Chase on the other end shooting 2.
Lowe hits the first, which is also a good sign after William & Mary just 5 of 9 in the first half for the free throw line. North Carolina A&T, they kind of reverse free throw numbers. The Aggies 9 of 10.
Yeah.
And William & Mary 7 of 11. As Chase Lowe pushes the lead to 4.
Let's see here that it's always interesting to see when they press if, the second defender and the guy in Pulliam in this case, he didn't trap. They just kind of played a little token man-to-man.
Middleton had a good second half of the first half. We'll get the scoring started here for A&T. He's in double figures now with 12.
And great move. I mean, usually don't see that. Usually people are shooting that 3, but got him to go for the up fake and put the ball on the floor to knock down the 15-footer.
Brockhoff, that was off. And the rebound for, UJ Ume, North Carolina A&T, who will slow it up here. Down by 2 still. Aggies thought about the 3 again. Walker step inside the arc. A little too long on that shot, but the rebound is tied up, and this will go to William & Mary. Walker frustrated with himself. That's a look, obviously, he can knock down. And he's had his way here in the first half with William & Mary.
Here's a kind of look at the foul here.
I didn't see how the parties parted there.
Killian might have had a little words, a little friendly words a little bit after the play.
Might not have been that friendly.
Yeah, that's right.
Tribe trying to extend this 2-point lead with Valberg Fasasi. Leaves it off for Killian Brockhoff, who'll go to work. It's been a feisty matchup, and a foul will come in.
And they're probably going to go talk to them, too. Probably say, hey, kind of clean it up a little bit. But I like the physicality. I mean, league play game.
Maybe a second foul on him. First, make it second team foul against the Aggies here in this second half. Cade Haskins.
Cade's got to try to score that, man. You got a smaller guy, just look to finish. Go up.
There he goes, and he'll get rewarded to the line. You saw that perfectly.
Yeah.
Dartmouth transfer.
I mean, I know it's always tough. It's a lot of things that go on in the possession, but when you got a bigger guy on a smaller guy, try to find them early. Because you see a lot of times and where they get out of position, you throw the ball, it's a turnover. Cade able to get in position and get fouled on that one.
Haskins hits the first. 6 points for him quietly tonight. 7.7 points a game, and he's been in double figures 6 times this season. 16 in the win over the A-10s Duquesne earlier this season for William & Mary. This Tribe team won 9 non-conference games, and we're red hot entering the new year. The road trip kind of put a little stop to that sizzle. They're looking to regain that here tonight and use this 3-game homestand to kind of springboard into the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of a tough road for William & Mary. I was looking at their schedule. After this homestand, they're almost done with their non-conference games. Just 2 home conference games, rather, in February. So it's a big stretch here for the Tribe that starts tonight.
Yeah. Like you said, you never want to try to look ahead too much, but I can't help but think, this is a game that, the guys feel like they can kind of get before the schedule gets tougher. But
Chase Lowe trying to make sure that happens as he lays that to it, and you're exactly right. Can't overlook anybody, but these home games are even more important. Go to some hostile environments in the CAA. Yeah. But not only that, when you get the back-to-back home games, you're sleeping in your own bed.
That's right.
On the road in this league with the Thursday, Saturday, you're traveling somewhere either Thursday night late or early Friday morning.
Yeah.
Valberg Fasasi in transition, can't get it to go. Brockhoff keeps it alive to Chase Lowe.
Good pass.
And Duda will lay it in with the reverse.
Great pass. Chase does that a lot, man. I would say, they got a lot of guys that can bring the ball up. Kyle brings it up sometime, but I would say that Chase is their point guard, in my opinion.
Chase is going to be whistled for his 3rd foul there.
Bring in another 4.
Yeah, fresh 4 on. This is kind of the MO. This happens in the first half and the second half. But it's kind of, you just talk about the hardship of this conference schedule. Like going 4 deep off your bench before the media timeout in the first half, that's an advantage.
No, it is. It is, for sure. I think, too, it's one thing to press the whole game and you got to worry about turning the ball over, but I think more than anything, it's a mental thing. You know what I mean? It just kind of wears you down, bringing in new bodies.
Walker continuing to feel it for
He's a good player.
North Carolina A&T. Another 3-ball for him. 18 here.
He's already above his average. That's a foul.
Valberg Fasasi hits the N1.
Put the stare down a little bit, too. Had a little flex on that one.
He started heating up with the last 4 for William & Mary.
And that's the advantage to him, right? Like, he's at the top of the perimeter. You think he's a big guy, but no, he can put it on the floor and able to finish with the contact and try to get it the old-fashioned way.
3 for North Carolina A&T ended a 6-0 William & Mary run, but Valberg Fasasi with the answer on the other end. Pushes the Tribe lead back to 8 points. Walker continuing to show off his skill. And now tied up out of bounds against North Carolina A&T.
That's our guy, Mr. Jones. Effort play. That's his type of player he is, man. He's been doing that all game. Had a couple plays like that in the first half, and then on that 50-50 ball was able to cause a turnover.
Yeah, he's been a feisty player, and that's, you talk about the mental thing. Not only do you get a full fresh players coming in, but someone that's got that kind of speed.
Exactly.
When you're a little winded, that's tough to match up against. Good game from J.R. Jones tonight. 10 points in that first half. Looking to get started here as he enters in the second. Oh, went through the legs.
Yeah, that was a good look.
Look at the hold. That would have been a highlight reel if Valberg Fasasi could have gotten free. 5-hole there. I think he did, yeah. He knew what he was doing. Unfortunately for William & Mary, it'll just be out of bounds and work perfectly for Ryan Jackson Jr. jumper.
Great execution. I feel like as a player, that's one of the times like where you practice and you have to go over inbound plays. I'll say for myself, you're not really paying attention as much because, it's an inbounds play, but those are the times and where you execute it perfectly, you get an easy bucket.
Pushes the lead back to double figures for William & Mary. Walker.
Great defense.
Is trapped, somehow swings it across to Ogletree, and they'll reset with 5 back to Walker. He's double teamed immediately, and a foul will come against William & Mary. That will give the Aggies a fresh 20 when we come back from this commercial break. Tribe has opened up a 13-5 run here to start this second half. They lead it by 10 with 15:32 to go. As far beyond the game, growing up in a musical family, he played saxophone through high school and even performed in his jazz band. Today, that love of music still shapes his tastes in artists and genres, but his biggest passion, faith. Back home in New York, Joel has mentored kids through children's ministry, helping guide the next generation. While Division I hoops keeps him busy, he stays grounded through William & Mary's Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Joel Emanuel bringing energy, purpose, and heart to everything he does. And, you know, awesome, all the stuff he does on the court, but a terrific player in his own right for William & Mary. He's coming off the bench these days, but a nice spark. He's not scored tonight, but a great player here for Coach Earl. Foul to start this possession back as North Carolina A&T trails by 10.
That's our guy, Lewis Walker. I mean, and one thing about him, he doesn't rest. I mean, he's always attacking the defense. He seems like he's always in attack mode. I think that's one thing that makes him so good.
He's been in double figures, like we said, every game except the last one, in double figures today. But closing in on another 20-point performance, which he can do with two more baskets, rather. Missed the first.
And I always got a ton of respect for guys that they're at the top of the scouting report, and yet they still come out and, you know, they're able to still perform and produce. Because, you know, the game plan is about them and stopping them, and they're still able to come out and get a few buckets.
And they'll split the pair as Walker, again, just in his redshirt freshman season for North Carolina A&T. Kyle Pulliam quickly up ahead as his shot rejected. Again, the Aggies find themselves down 10 as Ryan Jackson Jr. trying to save it, and he does.
That is great effort, man. That is great. I mean, that's just a heck of a play. Heck of a play by Jackson.
I was about to say the same story was about to unfold, it felt there, for William & Mary. They get up by double digits. Then the Aggies go on a quick little run to stay in it. But that going out of bounds against North Carolina A&T will give William & Mary a second chance to push back to a double-figure lead. Talk and see whether or not the shot clock should be a fresh 30 or 20, and it'll be a fresh 30 for William & Mary. They'll take a second off since they sort of got it back.
Oh,
tough
man,
pass for Pulliam.
Yeah. Pass a little bit too hard. They had him on the cut.
So another turnover for William & Mary. This time A&T is going to cash it in for two as it was nearly blocked, but Brooklyn Vick underneath, able to get the layup to go.
And they're hanging around. I mean, this kind of resembles as Pulliam takes a deep three. Didn't make it.
Foul underneath on the rebound will give it back to North Carolina A&T as Ryan Jackson Jr. is whistled for the personal.
And that's kind of what happened in the first half. Obviously, there's a lot of time left, but A&T sticking around, and all it takes is a couple of three-pointers to go down, and it's a totally different ball game.
Looking for points on back-to-back possessions with the stop. Second foul on Ryan Jackson Jr. will bring Cade Haskins back into the game. It's a 7-point ball game. Look up, and North Carolina A&T inches a little closer each time. And Vick, the freshman, has been good tonight. He averages 17.6 minutes per game. Feel like he's been out there a lot already today.
He's played well. I mean, I think he's kind of controlled the game and managed the game in a good way, pushing the ball.
Nice drive here. And unable to finish was Wayuje Yume. Inside to Emanuel. Tried to leave it off for Pulliam, but he takes it himself and scores it.
And that's the skill. I mean, he was kind of stuck a little bit, but was able to outstretch it and finish with his left hand on the other side. Great move by Emanuel.
Stops the run for North Carolina A&T. Walker has two guys come to him and then traveled. Tribe wanted an offensive foul, didn't get it, and then Walker never really shot. He had his best chance when Emanuel went down.
Yeah, they could have, I mean, would have been a block or charge or whatever it was. Clearly this is a travel as Walker tries to step out of the trap. Easy call.
Reese Miller has a lane open for him and will take the floater, left a little short.
He usually makes those. I feel like he's a guy who's got a nice touch. That's an offensive foul.
They will get it this time. And the last time Walker got the block call, this time it's offensive against him.
And this one's clearly, like you said, Drew, compared to the last one, it wasn't. But this one, you can kind of clearly see he extends. Easy offensive call, offensive foul.
Mary beats the A&T pressure. They'll leave it off for Brockhoff, who gets the easy two.
That's William Mary basketball at its finest. That's why Coach Earl wants to play. They were able to push the ball and an easy two for Brockhoff.
Back to an 11-point Tribe lead. See if they can extend. Three ball rattles in for Zumiaku Well-Ume. And A&T right back down 8.
It's been the tail of the game. I mean, William Mary makes a play, and A&T comes right back, that time with the three ball. See, I want Emilio. I don't understand why he stops there. Keep going to the basket and drive. You stop in the middle of the lane and stop your dribble.
Pulliam on the backdoor cut. A nice feed from Brockhoff. And the two for Kyle Pulliam.
Great pass by Pulliam. Oh, no, finish by Pulliam. I'm sorry.
10-point lead again for William and Mary. Felt like the Tribe has been in control through most of this game. The Aggies have clawed back. They were only down 2 at halftime as the ball deflected and they'll go out of bounds against William and Mary. The Aggies have not been able to keep up with the Tribe as much here in this second half. Foul. Take a look. There's maybe an injured fan as we take a look at the last backdoor cut here for William and Mary.
And that's what they do. I mean, they've been doing it all game. They lure you to sleep, and Pulliam caught him slipping in an easy bucket for him.
I think everybody's okay. Good seats. Got to be ready for the deflections. Nice move by Middleton to finish over Haskins.
Oh, Chase, I like it, man. Mouse in the house a little bit. Great pass.
Took advantage of the mismatch and find a cutting Reese Miller. Tribe's offense starting to look good again, but A&T quickly back the other way. Brooklyn Vick goes up strong, and he's Vick misses the first. Subs in for William and Mary. Ryan Jackson Jr. back with Tunda Valberg Fasasi. One more coming for Brooklyn Vick to make it a 9-point game if he can hit it. And he does.
Cut it to single digits.
Vick today for North Carolina A&T up to 4 points. Lowe sprints it up the floor for William and Mary. Lowe gets it right back, leaves it off for Ryan Jackson Jr.
Another back cut.
Albert Fasasi can't get the layup to go, and a rebound and push here from Brooklyn Vick. He's another speedster on this floor tonight.
Way to handle the ball, too. Probing and pass.
One more into the corner. Burton on the drive, gets to the block and lays it in for 2 more.
A&T starting to try to, as Chase tries to probe and get into the lane. Continuing to make runs, continuing to take the punches by William and Mary.
11.5 minutes to go. Reese Miller trying to post up the smaller Brooklyn Vick.
I would do it every time.
Nice spin move and finish.
I would make Coach Ross have to take Vick out of the game because anybody that he pretty much guards with anybody on the floor that William Mary has is going to be size misadvantage.
Reese Miller up to 12 points tonight off the bench for William and Mary. Middleton will swing around. Burton was open for a second. Good recovery defense with the Tribe, and then foul's going to be whistled before the media break, and it's going to go against Killian Brockhoff. Third personal on him. That will take us to the media timeout. It was the 16th foul. So North Carolina A&T will have the basketball, looking to trim a 9-point deficit when we get back. From Van Wagner, this is the Tribe Sports Network. If it's Gold Rush, that also means it's the annual baby race, and registration is now open. Join us on January 31st at noon when the Tribe men's basketball team takes on Campbell right here at Kaplan Arena. The sign-up code is on the screen. Babies must be 6 to 12 months, able to crawl and not yet walk. Registration and a game ticket are required. Select participants will be contacted by January 26th. Don't miss out on one of our favorite game day traditions and sign up today to be a part of the Gold Rush. Fastest 3 to 5 minutes in sports right there, the baby race. It's fun. Virginia 529 doing that throughout the Commonwealth. One of the most looked forward to halftime entertainment each year, and a 3 out of the timeout for Trent Middleton Jr. Cut it.
He's made a couple of those. He's made a couple of those.
17 for him. Middleton and Walker keeping these Aggies alive in this game. Again, the North Carolina A&T Aggies looking for their first conference win of the season. Lowe trapped underneath the hoop, trying to find space, can't get it to go. And Ume able to pick up the rebound for North Carolina A&T. He'll keep it himself, go coast to coast and lay it in for 2.
That's not what you want to see.
Got a whistle and an injury here. I don't know what happened with Middleton.
I think he was fighting in the post with one of the William & Mary guys and just got caught an elbow.
Trying to catch his breath. He'll stay in the game, and William & Mary will re-inbound. So now a 4-point game again for North Carolina A&T. They've hit their last 5 field goals. Got some stops on this end to get back into it. Valbert Fasasi.
Wow.
Maybe he got away with it. He'll get his own miss and put it back in for 2.
Maybe got away is a nice way to put it. Definitely pushed off, but the ref missed that one. He was able to get the bucket.
Pushes it back to a 6-point Tribe advantage.
And something to keep a look at. Walker is limping a little bit. I don't know what happened, but he's gimping up the floor.
Worked away from him the last few times. Middleton's had the hot hand here of late. Nearly loses the handle of it. Finds Lewis Walker. Step through. It's good.
1 leg, 2 legs. I guess it doesn't matter for him. He's going to find a way to get to the basket.
Closing in on his career high as we take another look at this nice step through.
Yeah, nice step through and able to finish it. I mean, he's just a good player. I mean, like I said early, he's a guy that looks for the physicality, looks for the contact, and was able to finish there and is going to the line the old-fashioned way.
21 points for Lewis Walker here tonight, looking to add to it, and he will. So now a 3-point game, the closest it has been since halftime. And the Tribe led by 2. Reese Miller for a 3, looking to answer, and he will. Another big shot, this time from Reese Miller.
That is a timely shot. I mean, that is a big shot by Reese. 3-point game, the momentum's all on A&T inside, and then knocks down the 3 to push the lead to 6. Got to keep him out of the lane. There you go.
Made him elevate, and Miller again. He's had some nice defensive plays too. J.R. Jones all alone and tight. And a quick 5-0 spurt restore some order here for William & Mary.
Still a lot of time left, but we're going to look back at that shot by Reese Miller for 3, and that could have been a key play as we finish the rest of this game.
Get the handoff to Bryson Ogletree. Now Trent Middleton. 15 on the shot clock. Middleton goes to work through the lane. Holds his foot, turns around, can't get the jumper. Rebound fought for, and again, another nice rebound from Zumako Yuma, and he's going to get to go to the line here for North Carolina A&T. Middleton still down on the floor here for the Aggies.
Good work, Reed.
Looks like he's cramping. I know a cramp when I see one. Looks like he's cramping up a little bit. Not a good feeling.
Sophomore from London to transfer for GW. Ume hits the first.
I feel like these days, whenever we introduce a player, talk about a player, let's just lead with transfer.
Yeah,
I feel like
the portal has definitely changed the game. There was some portal news that may have been, I don't want to say first positive portal news because that's inaccurate, but they're moving the transfer portal window back to the day after the Final Four is over.
I saw that.
So to avoid some of the madness we've seen in the college football the last 2 years, portal will not open until after all basketball is done. Joe Emanuel with the flush. The first highlight reel play for him tonight, and he hammers it home with authority.
And he got high on that one. Head was at the rim. I saw that coming wide open. Able to take advantage of it and finish with authority there for Emanuel.
Pushes it back to an 8-point lead, but a 3 on the other end will rim out. J.R. Jones the rebound, and the Tribe looking to extend back to double figures. Valberg Fasasi for a 3. And just like that, the Tribe restores their double-digit lead.
And I was just about to say, Drew, that the Tribe is looking for a kill shot. Not to say that that was, but that pushes the lead even further. Big shot by Fasasi there.
Lewis Walker, nice move by him, and he's going to go to the line for an extra one after the media timeout. Lewis Walker's putting the Aggies on his back. You take a look at a 3 from Tunda Valberg Fasasi, and you think, when are the Aggies going to give it up? They're not. Lewis Walker trying to will his North Carolina A&T Aggies to the win. North Carolina A&T team, but Lewis Walker, the man at the free throw line for the Aggies, with a chance to tie his career high here with this free throw, is trying to keep North Carolina A&T in the game, and not only that, try to get them to win the game.
That's right. Still a lot of time, can cut into the lead here.
He'll complete the traditional three-point play. He give himself 25 to set, or rather tie his career high. Brockhoff off to J.R. Jones, inside to Valberg. In 1 to go, but he'll get to go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
And I would do that every play down. I mean, it's no surprise A&T.
Valberg Fasasi, 15 points today for William & Mary, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Done a little bit of everything for this Tribe team. It's the first of 2 from the line.
We talked about him at the top, but he was a key player to this game, and he's picking up right where he left off. I mean, he's been playing well in this last stretch. Athletic. I mean, he can do so much. I mean, you just called out some of the stats from the box score. Rebounding, can score, pass.
This is the second, though, so North Carolina A&T will hustle it up the floor. Brooklyn Vick to the top for Burton. Work into the corner for Ogletree. Down to 13 on the shot clock. Burton for the long 3. Back heels it, and the rebound off to J.R. Jones, but can't split the double team. They'll leave it off for Lewis Walker, who will lay it in for 2 more.
I think it's safe to say Lewis Walker's going for a 30-piece. Got 27 now, right?
Yeah, well on his way. Exactly right. 27 points for him. Reese Miller leaves it off for Killian Brockhoff. His layup, good.
Great find. Great finish. I thought he could have got a foul call on that one, but
Vick tries to emulate the J.R. Jones play we saw earlier. Nice hang and hit from Zumaku Yume, and he's going to get to the line to add 1 more.
And that's just a physical grown man move right there. I mean, just rips it baseline, able to finish with the contact. Grown man move, which, like you said, that pass looks similar to that Jones pass, but look, just get out of my way. I'll finish. Great move.
Another player in double figures for North Carolina A&T as he just collected his 13th point of the game. 7 rebounds for him. And a chance for 1 more from the line. And again, they make it a 6-point lead for William & Mary, but they'll leave that point on the free throw line.
Talked about it earlier. They're not capitalizing really much off their free throws so far in the season. Good pass.
Brockhoff inside, held on from behind, so we'll get the N1. Back-to-back buckets for Brockhoff. And again, William & Mary following up. Nice plays from A&T with a little bit better plays of their own.
Absolutely. Great find by Emmanuel. Brockhoff sets a good screen, rolls. I was going to say easy bucket, but he got hit. That's a tough bucket. finishes with the contact.
Get Ogletree on the personal. That's his 4th. Very unable to capitalize on the N1 as well. So the lead stays 9 for the Tribe with 6:04 to play. Vic gets his shot rejected. This will lead to a breakout for William & Mary. Numbers if they want him. Valberg Fasasi kicks off to Reese Miller. Brockhoff won't take the shot. Now the Tribe settles into their half court. Brockhoff loses the handle, and William & Mary unable to capitalize off the A&T turnover. Back the other way for the Aggies. Walker steps inside the arc for the 2-point jumper and cans it.
I mean, he can score at all 3 levels. Like, we've seen him knock down the tray ball. We've seen him hit the 15-footer. We've seen him get to the basket. I mean, he can score the ball.
Efficient scoring tonight as well. 29 points on 10 of 13 shooting. And a foul here against North Carolina A&T. But back to finish the point on Lewis Walker. 10 of 13 from the field, 2 of 3 from range, and 7 of 8 from the line.
Yeah, he's really looking at him.
Going to the ball ended up on the A&T bench, and I don't think Coach Ross appreciated the call on the steal, so he'll make the referee, Tony Chris, walk down and get it. It's a 1-and-1 situation here for William & Mary, so Brockhoff will get 1 plus the bonus.
I don't want to give the announcer jinx, but this is what we talk about as far as free throws and kind of what they mean towards the end of the game. You don't want to leave points on the board.
Getting close to crunch time. 1-and-1's important as well, because if you miss the first, it's might as well like an empty possession if you don't get the rebound. Brockhoff up to 11 for William & Mary that now have 4 players in double figures. Reese Miller, J.R. Jones, Jim DeValber, Fasasi, and now Killian Brockhoff with his 12 points. Another well-balanced score sheet for this Tribe team that's hovered around a 3-possession lead throughout. The travel finally comes from the trail official. Zumaku Wayume took 1 too many steps there.
Tried to put himself own self in the spin cycle there.
Hey, got it did, right?
You know what I mean?
A little bit of the happy feet down low after the nice move on the time before. Emmanuel will get to his spot on the block. Picks up his dribble. Under 5 to play as William & Mary trying to snap out of this 3-game skid and stay perfect here at home and move to 7-0. Reese Miller with 9, calls out what he wants. He'll just take a deep 3. Won't go for him, and the rebound off to Wayume. He's closing in on a double-double.
They're leaving one. They got an advantage.
Ogletree hammers it for the Aggies. He elevated.
I did not see that coming. Man, still kind of speechless after that.
Yeah.
I mean, rip baseline. I didn't know he had that in him, and that cuts the lead a little bit. Still a lot of time. And
miscue there as Valberg Fasasi went back door. Brockhoff was looking for him, and they'll say it hit off of North Carolina A&T. Take another look at this highlight reel play for the Aggies.
I mean, he rips it baseline. It's just up, and up. There he is.
Right into your living room.
Yeah, that's where he is. He was in the air for so long. That's why I couldn't see him.
7-point lead for the Tribe as Valberg Fasasi probes and is hit. So he's going to the line for 2 shots.
That's double bonus.
Both teams shooting free throws 2 the rest of the way. North Carolina A&T, I guess will probably go home. They will be at Hampton on Monday night, Martin Luther King Day. 9 o'clock tip on national television on CBS Sports Network.
You know what I noticed, too? There was an interesting fact that for All-Star Weekend, this NBA All-Star Weekend, I can't remember the dates. It's in L.A. this year.
Yeah.
The Friday night game, they're headlining like HBCU Classic or whatever, and I think it's A&T. I can't remember who they play, but I thought that was just awesome. That's great exposure.
Yeah, the CAA has those national televised games as well, so they'll highlight them on Martin Luther King Day. And the NBA, if that Friday night would be the Friday night of President's Day weekend. Nice transition look for Dumbio. Late foul will come in after they missed the shot. And free throws will come for the Aggies following our final media timeout of regulation. North Carolina A&T's hung tough all night. We'll see if they can get over this deficit when we come back. You're watching Tri-Men's Basketball from Van Wagner. This is the Tri Sports Network. Tonight, as the William & Mary women's team will take on Hampton, a 7 o'clock tip. And then the men home for this 3-game homestand, which will continue next week. A week from tonight will be men's basketball taking on UNC Wilmington, who coming into tonight's action was undefeated in the league. Next Saturday, the 24th, is Star Wars Day, a 2 o'clock tip against Hofstra, and then in a women's broadcast, January 30th, to kick off the Gold Rush weekend. Women's Gold Rush game will follow the men's on Sunday, February the 1st, as the free throw is good from Numia. Women will be celebrating their annual Play for K game that January 30th. So a colorful weekend in Williamsburg the last weekend in the beginning of February here, a couple weekends away. Split the pair, and Brockhoff will sky for the rebound. 7-point cushion here for William & Mary. He's trying to get this home.
Leaving points on the board there. Could have cut it to 6, but missed that one.
Tribes led for 33 minutes of this game. Aggies just under 2. Brockhoff looking to go to work. Loses the handle, and now a late whistle will come in against Walker. It's going to be his 4th. So that is a critical foul. Obviously, with just 3.5 minutes left in the game, he's going to stay out there. But he has been one of 3 players that have really willed North Carolina A&T tonight. 29 points for the freshman.
And if I'm Coach Ross, I'm keeping him in the game. I mean,
it's not much time left.
Not much time left. 3 minutes. You need a score. You got to be smart and just play it out.
Going down with him out there.
Yeah.
Brockhoff will rim out on the second, and the rebound picked up by the Aggies. North Carolina A&T needs to move quickly. Brooklyn Vick will pass it off to WJ Yume, who's trapped, and he's going to throw this into the backcourt. They're going to say it was tipped. So the Aggies still have 10 seconds to get a shot off. Inside. Spinning, but another issue and a travel against North Carolina A&T. WJ Yume took a couple of travels tonight.
Yeah, and that's just a tough possession. I mean, you don't even get a shot up. I mean, that's something that you don't want to see if you're Coach Ross. You get a turnover, but don't even get a look at the basket there. So, empty possession.
8-point lead for William & Mary as the game will tick under 3 minutes to go. Here in regulation, a little bit of a soft pass, but William & Mary able to recover. Nice pass here to Reese Miller, and he'll get the layup to give him 17.
I mean, they've been slicing and dicing him up with that back cut pretty much all game, as Reese was able to find the opening and get an easy 2.
Walker for 3. That'll push him over 30.
I mean, he's a flat-out scorer. I mean, he just can flat-out score the ball.
32 tonight for him. Pulling him back the other way. He's fouled, and we'll get to add to his count from the line. But, yeah, an excellent performance. And what most likely, unless the Tribe really falls off here from the line, will be a losing effort for Lewis Walker. But 32 tonight. It's a big number once you get it across the 30-point plateau. North Carolina A&T did have a player score 30 last season. Ryan Forrest against North Carolina Central scored 30 on December the 28th, 2024.
And this is Lewis's career high, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I think 25 is it.
Tribe will add to their count with some free throws. Pushes the lead back to 9. Under 2.5 minutes to play. William & Mary looking like they're going to start this homestand in style and snap their 3-game skid. Brooklyn Walker into the corner, last touch by William & Mary, another deflection.
Coach Ross probably would have came out to the floor if that would have ended up being a turnover on that one.
I've seen Coach Ross coach a lot of CAA basketball. He was at Delaware when I was in college at VCU. Obviously, that rolled over to his time when I was working at William & Mary. Now good to see him back in the CAA. As it works into the corner for Trent Middleton, three. Aggies can shoot it a little bit. That's their 8th make from range tonight. Still a two-point possession. Two-possession game, rather, here for William & Mary. So the Aggies, again, not going quietly.
Slow it down. Try to get a good shot here. Don't need to rush. Time is on their side, obviously.
Reese Miller floats it and hits.
Float. That is the float that I was talking about. He has such a nice touch.
19 for him.
Got to stay down.
Middleton into the corner for Burton for three. That'll rim out. Long rebound. Brooklyn Vick chases it down. He'll work baseline and throw it away. Tribe have the numbers here. Valberg Fasasi wisely slows it up as we're under a minute and a half. And the home faithful starting to salute their home team Tribe as North Carolina A&T has to start to foul.
I know William & Mary's like to play fast, but I would have thought that they would have slowed it down on that possession there. Use the time.
Zamoku Wayuje with the personal there, his third. Make it his fourth, rather. We'll send J.R. Jones to the line. Good game for J.R. Up to 13 now in the contest. 10 of those in the first half to help spread the lead here for William & Mary. One in which they did not relinquish.
And J.R.'s played a great game.
It's back and forth in the early stages as J.R. misses the second. William & Mary, once they got the lead, have not given it back up. Vick trying to go coast to coast, and after the hesitation, will lay it in for two. It's up to 6.
A&T's got to look to be aggressive here and try to go for the ball, foul or something. You're wasting way too much time. I know Coach Ross is not calling them off, so I don't understand why they're not fouling. But
it's good news for William & Mary. They'll let some time evaporate. Obviously want to score, but also take as much time as possible. Low loses his footing and will lose it out of bounds. But again, that was 28 seconds off the game there.
I don't understand that coaching strategy by Coach Ross. I mean, but
yeah, I mean, I guess 40 seconds, right? A 3 here would cut it to 4. There's not that many possessions left. You'd obviously would have to foul if they scored here. Nice finish inside with the stuff for Zumaku Wayuje as we take a look at a Reese Miller jumper, and we do have our final media timeout of the game. We never had the call timeout here in the second half, so we'll step aside. North Carolina A&T trying to close the gap. They're down by 5 with just 31 seconds left. From Van Wagner, this is the Tribe Sports Network. Lewis Walker, 32 tonight for the Aggies. Reese Miller, 19 for William & Mary. A double-double for Zumaku Wayuje. And Tande Valberg Fasasi has 6 rebounds. Brooklyn Vick, 6 assists. Same with Chase Lowe. As William & Mary trying to hang on here. 5-point lead for the Tribe. North Carolina A&T will pressure. Reese Miller will go underneath on the pass. And they'll get it into Valberg Fasasi. And now a foul will, did the timeout come first?
I think they called a timeout first.
Well, they don't want the timeout now because of the foul, but we'll hold the 30-second timeout. Let's see what they got first. This is a big call because William & Mary was obviously struggling there a little bit to get it in. The Tribe do have 2 timeouts left. If the foul calls, they're going to give them the foul before the timeout.
Coach Ross is kind of upset about that.
Yeah, I mean that, It makes sense why he's frustrated, with the timeout is being called there, and then that was when they come to foul.
Yeah, no, you're right. He definitely called,
I don't know if he can review that. I don't think that's a reviewable play because it's a referee's discretion on when to grant the timeout. So now Valberg Fasasi a chance to add to the Tribe lead from the free throw line. Instead of William & Mary having to inbound with just a 5-point lead, he'll hit the first. This is the big one, though, Brandon, because it takes it from a 2 to a 3-possession game.
Big shot.
18 for him today.
Continuing his good play.
It's 14.8 points per game for him in CAA play, so that will hop up with his 19 tonight to tie game-high honors for William & Mary with Reese Miller. Lewis Walker, though, has the total for the game, 32. Great performance from him on effective shooting. He's got it looking to add more, and will get to do that from the line.
Lower the shoulder.
He's been aggressive all night. And he is. I can tell he's walking with the little, looks like I don't know if it was his hamstring or his leg, but he's been favoring that the whole game, was still able to make an impact and get to the basket.
He's been awesome for North Carolina A&T today. Carolina A&T has had a player score 40 before. That was Stephen Rush back in 2007. Nobody scored more than 50. Just looking through their notes. But what a performance from him tonight with the 33, and still some time left. If North Carolina A&T elects to foul, they'll miss that. The Aggies will foul as the whistle will come in on Killian Brockhoff.
All you got to do is make free throws, and the game should be over, but these are when they count the most.
Yeah, Tribe closing in on 100 points. This offense can be electric at times. Really, not at all. They go in spurts, but nice recovery and response for William & Mary tonight to snap this 3-game sit. North Carolina A&T, they've got their 7 wins, is what they've had the last 2 years. I tell you what, this is going to be a tough out. They're going to win some games in the league. They just have kind of figure out some things maybe on the defensive side of the floor, but Lewis Walker can lead the way, and he's going to steal a game or two.
Oh, for sure. He's good enough to steal a game or two, for sure. And like you said, if they're hitting shots, and I mean, they got guys, they're athletic, so I think they'll compete and win a couple of games in the league.
Brockhoff hits the pair to push it to 97. It's an 8-point lead for William & Mary. 20 seconds left on the game clock.
Oh,
and now a backcourt violation for North Carolina A&T. And William & Mary should be able to dribble it out.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Ross is going to try fouling. I think they're going to dribble it out and call it a night. But like you said, what a bounce-back performance by William & Mary. I mean, losers of 3 straight and come home and get a win in Kaplan.
And enjoy a week off as well. After a long road trip last week, William & Mary is going to pick up the win over North Carolina A&T. Final score, 97-89. The Tribe snaps their 3-game losing streak. They'll improve to 12-6, 3-3 in league action, while North Carolina A&T falls to 7-9, 0-5 in conference play. Stick around as we enter the Pepsi postgame show. It'll be Brandon Britt waiting for head coach Brian Earl, but Coach Earl and his Tribe pick up a much-needed win to get back to 3-3 in league play and open up this critical homestand here at Kaplan Arena for the next 2 after tonight, 3 coming into today in style with the win. Where it looks like almost ready for Coach Earl and Brandon Britt. Just making sure everything's plugged in and ready to go over there as the Tribe picks up the big home win tonight, 97-89. We look like we're ready to go, so we'll kick it over to Brandon, who's courtside with Coach Earl.
You've been on the road for the past 3 games, kind of handled some adversity. Just talk about your team's performance coming back and getting a win in Kaplan.
Yeah, it was important to be home. We have the best fans around, and they lifted us up. We coming back from that long road trip, you know, a couple heads were down and everything, and I thought our crowd was great and our guys responded.
Talk about Reese Miller's performance tonight. Kind of came in and was able to knock a couple shots down, played hard. Talk about what he gave as far as team's effort tonight.
Yeah, he's been finding his way. He's a natural scorer, so he's going to look for his shots, but he had a couple really nice passes, and, he's wearing that bulky knee brace, which I wish would go away, but he's fighting through, and so he did a great job coming in after the long road trip.
You were able to get a win tonight, kind of looking ahead. You got a tough week next week with some good teams coming in. What's kind of the message to the guys, and what are you looking to focus on as we continue CAA play?
Yeah, just keep making adjustments. I think in conference play, everybody knows everybody so well, and so we know that the two really well-coached teams are coming in. We got to have some stuff to deal with it, make sure that we're getting our shots up, figure out the things we could have done better this game, and just add on to what we've been doing.
Congrats on the win.
William & Mary wins it. Final score 97-89. The Tribe tops North Carolina A&T. We'll take a look at our player of the game, and it is William & Mary's J.R. Jones in the winning effort, but we should give a hat tip to Lewis Walker, who finishes with those 33 points. J.R. Jones, 13 points, a huge start to this game for him. He scored 8 in a row to kind of give William & Mary the separation. It got close at times, but William & Mary led the game for about 38 minutes in the victory. J.R. Jones, our player of the game here at Kaplan Arena. That's going to wrap it up for tonight's broadcast. William & Mary snaps a 3-game skid with a 97-89 win over North Carolina A&T. Our next Tribe broadcast will be tomorrow night as the William & Mary women take on Hampton at 7 o'clock right here on the Tribe Sports Network in MASN. And then we will be back for a men's broadcast a week from tonight. Another MASN broadcast as William & Mary takes on UNC Wilmington, also at 7 o'clock. For our telemedia productions team, my broadcast partner, Brandon Britt, I'm Andrew Phillips saying so long from Williamsburg. Tribe wins at 97-89. We'll talk to you next time. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good night, everybody.